Alright, good morning, good morning, good morning. How y'all wonderful people doing today? Oh man. Well, today Jess started her job today. At this warehouse company doing makeup. She's pretty excited about that. Um, and I mean, as fast as she went, the last place that she was at, as fast as she rose up in that company, not even just barely over a month, and she already got promoted. Like I know you're gonna have no problem here. You know, um, hopefully the same thing ends up happening to this place. And she's an awesome worker. She's an awesome person, and all around, just her morals and her work ethic and her people skills is superb. But no, she's awesome. I couldn't be more fortunate and more blessed to have somebody. Especially right now I got to be doing my intensive outpatient for probation. I can't give a job what they need. Because as my classes are either like now they're on Mondays. Now just now got down to one class a week, but it started out being 3 days a week and then 2 days a week. Now 1 day a week, but right now it's gonna be on Mondays, and then in 2 more weeks it's gonna be on Wednesday. So like it's just the flip flopping and stuff, and then how many days it was beforehand. Like I just wouldn't have been able to get the job what they, the what they required. It would have been too difficult, and I would end up being late to something or having to miss something, and it can't be probation stuff because then they'll end up locking me up. So, she's willing to work, until I can get through this, and then once I'm done with this, I've already got me a nice job lined up. And they're gonna train me to be a forklift driver. So like, we'll be a okay. We will be golden. We'll be able to make it. All things in God in the Lord's good timing, in God's good timing. So it's all gonna work out. Um, and that is what's going on in the world right now, man. It's just so sad, like how crazy things have gotten, and just how America's crumbling, as everything, all the systems that are in place right now that are flawed, that are corrupt, that are not good, not just, not virtuous. It's gonna. This is the time that it's all gonna come crashing down. It's all gonna come to a head. It's time for things to get because it's for things to get better, and to come into a new era and a better existence. You have to be done away with the old, and so these systems have to prove to be failed systems, and they've been trying to push it on us and that it's good for us, and this is what's gonna work, this is what's best, yada yada. And well, and it's not, and it hasn't been, and it hasn't for a long time. And so now we get to see systems crumble and fall, and that's what's going on right now, and it goes all the way to an individual level. I mean, just even in your own life, if you notice, as in the last 5 years, between 2015 to now, like has life as you've known it, has it completely changed? Like did something happen? Did something happen where like lost everything, lost your family, lost your career, lost something that just completely just changed your life for and it probably for the best, probably it helped you to come into something maybe better, something more beneficial for you, more helpful to you. I know, like I said, I have a couple times, a couple things, it's happened to me. And I think a lot of people can relate, and so it's happening on an individual level. It's also happening, on in mass, and for the world as well. And like we're called not to be part of this world. We're called to be, sons and daughters of the Most High God, and heirs of the kingdom, right? And so we're not supposed to be part of this world, but the world is still subject to the same laws of God whenever it's at a point in time. Like they you had their that judgment day, is gonna come, which really it's just it's like your karmic lessons, like what aren't you learning? What are the lessons you need to learn? Like the ones that you fail and aren't learning, you're gonna have to stay in that repeated cycle, until you learn it, until you figure it out, you got it, and you handled it right, then you do set of problems, that's how it goes. But So, but at the point in time, like what the world can get away with, what the world wasn't subject to before. Well, now because when God returns, whenever Jesus returns, whatever, it is, everything's gonna have to line up with Him. Get in line with Him, or you gotta go. This ain't for you. This place ain't for you no more. And yeah, this place is not going to be able to hold life like it is right now. Like it's gonna, like that's what's happening. Is like but every 25,000 years, okay, there is a major huge catastrophe. Okay, that completely it recycles the planet. Everything just comes where like a major ice age, flood, or whatever. Okay, so there's a 75-year cycle too. Okay, so it happens every 25,000 years, and every 75 and there's so 75,000 years it holds three of those cycles. Okay, and right now we're on the third side. We're on the third one. Okay, it's been the last 75 years. We are right now at the time for 25 since the last 25 years. Okay, so this makes sense. Right? So okay, yeah. So right now we're at the end. Okay, we're at the end of this 75,000 year cycle. Okay, and we're on the third catastrophe, the last 25 years of it. Okay, and so and so for a history show it tells us anything, history repeats itself, right? Okay, and so so that happens like clockwork. If it happens like that, then the world as we know it is about to change. Okay, and they keep saying this. Everyone keeps saying this, talking about it. Hopefully now, you can see what's going on in the world. It's really gonna happen. Like it's not no joke. It's not no maybe, not no. It's a mathematical certainty. It's gonna happen. Okay, and this is like the last of the last, because so the Earth will not be hospitable anymore for any more cycles of being in third density, being a 3D being. No, it's going to only be hospitable for the spiritual body, for your spiritual body, for we're our universe. We basically are dark matter, dark energy. We're the shadow universe, the shadow side of things. Whenever you're in the real living, when you're really living, that's when you're in heaven. That's when you go pass on. That's just as close to reality as you're going to get. Right now, we're in the matrix, basically. We're in the illusion right now. And then so when this life's done, we go to the next one. You either didn't learn the lessons you came here to learn, so then you have to come back for another life. And karma, or not karma, but um, reincarnation is even talked about in the Bible. They talk about it in like whenever they're asking Jesus, when the dude was born, he was born blind. Like, what did this man do to have been born blind? What sins did he commit in another life? That basically is what they're asking. Okay, because it's what sins did this man or did his parents commit? So yeah, he hasn't been. He was born blind. So what? How could he have committed anything if he wasn't even born yet? There you go. Because they believe in reincarnation. And Jesus has a conversation with somebody, and he said neither. It wasn't this man that sinned in another life, or his parents. It was so the glory of God could be manifest. Okay, and so that right there, to say that you only live one life. Think about how awesome God is. God is such an awesome God, and we are eternal beings. We live forever. We get to live many, many lives. Okay, and he doesn't just give you one chance, to get it right. He gives you 50 chances. Let's say you want to learn, so much. You want to become just like a master at everything that you want to be a master at. Like you want to become as close to like God as you can. Because we're all God. We are God experiencing Himself. We're the universe experiencing itself. Right? We are God experiencing God. Okay, and so to say, oh, how can God make such an evil, horrible place? Well, you gotta realize that pain, that suffering, and that horribleness He is feeling it, going through it too. He knows your pain, He knows your suffering, because He is suffering it right there with you. It is literally what's happening to you is happening to Him. If it's hurting, eating away your heart, it's hurting, eating away His heart. God is experiencing all of life. He's experiencing the good, and He's experiencing the evil, the bad. He is God is all things. He is everything. He is everything is the creator. We get the plants, the bees. It all equals him. And that's like and when you're living, this matrix life, it's like the cells in your body. It's like a DNA fact, like your DNA or whatever, and your senses and your sensory. It's like a fax code, and like it relays back, to God, information. Because you got Father God and you got Mother God, okay? You got Father God Om and you got Mother God Asna, or you can call her Gaia. She has many names, Isis, she many names. But so Father God, he's static. He is the whole universe, okay? He is the universe is in the shape of a man, okay? And the universe does have an end, uh, but what it is it's like but it is it's a multiverse as well. Okay, so you got the static, is like the hand, right? And then the mother god Asna, the feminine principle, the feminine aspect, the feminine divine feminine. Okay, she is the hand inside the hand that moves. He's the unmoved mover, and she is the moved mover. Okay, so she can come in and actually act in on behalf of your life, and can personally tend to your needs. Where Father God, he is, the all amazing, all awesome creator. He is the creator and sustainer of life. Okay, and she is the emotion. She is the fire, the passion that drives life. So he made the body. She breathed life into it. And that's what it is, what it was. And God has parents too. Okay, that's another thing and that we'll know more about once we get to there. But God doesn't know where he came from. He doesn't know where like what, why, where, who made him. Who made God, and he doesn't know, and he wants to know. And he's curious, and so he's experiencing life to maybe to try to figure something out. I don't know. But he's experiencing, so like, oh, but then God's doing all these horrible, heinous things. Okay, well, we'll have free will, right? And so for him to experience and know everything there is to know about life, the good and the bad, he experiences through each of our own free will. So he is not he has there's a bias. There is a bias towards love and light. Okay, when you're love and light, you have the heavenly host. You have your spirit guides. You got your angels. You got all this protection. Okay, if you go dark, you just service to self. Okay, you don't have none of that. And all that's out the window. You got another form of protection, but it's different. Yeah, they don't have no host, a heavenly host that sits there, because they don't have another. They don't have a other side. They don't have a heaven. They don't have life after when they die. They go to live another life. Okay, like they go to their, like, it's like utero. It's all black, separated from God. They're not no pain and suffering, not no gnashing of teeth, not no. It's you're separated from God. It's all nothingness. Okay, and then boom. However much time goes by, then you go back into another body and live another life out. And so then that's what that is. There's no you're not damned, to punishment for eternity. Not like that, because how can you? An all loving, all benevolent God is not gonna do that. He's not gonna sit here and give us a life to live that he can. And we're his creation. We are him. He's not gonna make an eternal. It's not gonna happen. That makes no sense. You're taking a river that's supposed to flow very smoothly and majestically and just wonderfully, and then the church comes in, and throws all these rocks in there. That God's this angry, jealous, wrathful God. They talk about in the Old Testament, which he is not, and that's what Jesus came to tell us, that God's not this judgmental, angry, wrathful God. He is a very loving God that we all have connection to. And that's what Jesus came to tell us, that we are all sons and daughters of God. As much as he is, so are we. Okay. He was the Messiah. Okay, and he knew he was the Messiah. And Messiah means it puts your eyes on God. It turns your eyes to God. It turns you to God. Okay, so Jesus turned us all to God, and he showed us the way. He was a way. He is not the only way. Okay, and that's the thing. That's where they get you, because if God's not judging, and he is not condemnful, he does not judge or condemn anybody. Okay, um, We do that to our, we judge ourselves at the end of life, okay? But he says God does not judge, condemn nobody, okay? So then how can you sit there and say, oh, well, there's a Hindu person or this Buddhist person that they believe in their own form of God in an afterlife, but they believe it this certain way. They maybe recognize Jesus as this awesome um, Messiah, but not as the Son of God, but um, and really, like that part of it, like about the virgin birth and all that stuff, there's a lot of speculation there. Things open up for interpretation. But now we're learning, and we know now that psychic people it's a very real thing, a very very real thing. Okay, and there's lots of knowledge to be gained and things to be learned. When it comes into because they can tell the future, but they can also tell past events. Okay, and the accuracy that some of them have is astonishing. Okay, the numbers for themselves, they're way more correct than they are wrong, right? Okay, so there's an author named Sylvia Brown. Okay, and she gets into the life of Jesus Christ, and just how the whole story turned out. It did in no way does it take away from the power, his power and glory, okay, or his divinity, because he was still, God still anointed him. He was the anointed one. He was the chosen person. It was Jesus. He knew this inside of himself. Okay, he knew it, but he didn't take him to. He didn't need to be born by like God did not come in and steal the baby inside of her. No, like he was born, and call this blasphemous or whatever. It doesn't. It's fine. It is what it is. But in no way does it take away, the life that he lived and his divine mission, which he it was his mission. He was a chosen by God. Okay, but he had to live the life just like we had born like we were born, and he had to die like we died. He had to live and die, and he did both. Okay, and did he die on the cross? That's another controversial thing. Okay, he might not think about it. Okay, they're like, how Pontius Pilate didn't see the man that did no wrong. He didn't see why they wanted to kill him. And his wife had that dream, about, that this man, is not to be hurt, and he's like, well, I gotta make the crowd happy, if they want him dead, then they want him dead. Okay, so the way the Bible portrays it was that, well, he placed it in the hands of the people, and the people choose for him to die, but in real life, what really happened was they came up with a plan to keep him alive, okay? And whenever he was given wine at the end, whenever he screamed out, and then they reached into the sponge and gave him a sip of that wine, okay? It actually had a thing in it that was a medicine that put him in a coma-like state, so he would appear dead. And they did it. They worked the plan out marvelously, and then they did it for the night where the people go on the cross. They did the night to where that you cannot have people up on the day of the Sabbath or right before the day before the Sabbath. Okay, Sabbath was on I think Saturday because then Sunday was the day of rest. So Sabbath Saturday. So they did it on a Friday. Okay, so put Friday night. So they had to be taken down Friday. They had to be taken down that night because they can't not have no one standing up on the Sabbath, which is Saturday. Um, uh, and so they worked it out beautifully. So, and this happened on a Friday. Boom, he went up on the cross for like 3 hours, and then he had to be taken down. Okay, and they didn't break his knees. They didn't break his knees. If they would have broke his knees, then he was suffocated because then it makes where you drop and then you can't breathe, right? So they didn't break his knees on purpose. Okay, because then that ensures your death within a couple hours. If your knees aren't broken and you're hanging on a cross, it takes several days to die. Okay, so they didn't break his knees. Okay, um and for the beating he took, whatever, and everything, and all that, like it 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 wouldn't have killed him, and he wouldn't have happened that fast, it would have taken more time for him to die. So they took him down, he just they gave him they gave him the sponge with the medicine in it. He appeared dead, and then they come and they rolled the stone away and they got him out, they saved him. And think about it, because that's how much God loved Jesus, that Jesus was so faithful to God, was so faithful and so loving of God and his people, and he did his best to serve God and to do what God asked him to do. And that God showed favor on him, and he didn't have to die. He didn't have to die, and that's beautiful. That's amazing, okay? Because God given that woman that dream, he's not to be touched, not to be hurt. And so so God helped them come. God is the author of the plan to keep Jesus alive, so that he doesn't have to die. Okay, and it's just wonderful. It's just so amazing. And then they literally see Jesus everywhere. Like if he died, then how did they see him? Like, oh, he rose from the dead. Yeah, okay, well, you know what? Like that's a wonderful fairy tale story. But we're talking about real life here, though. Not that God couldn't do that or wouldn't do that, but it just there's just the way things happen, and then the way the history records things. And we all will know that the ones in power, the ones that wrote the story, lie, manipulate, and they don't want us to know the truth. Okay, so. And this, to me, that's just amazing, that like, wow, God, like, like, there's not this God that's gonna sit here. Everyone, Jesus had to be punished and suffer this, so that way we don't go burn in hell. Like, the whole thing, the device it's to instill fear, and to entrap us, and to make us obey, and makes us slaves, and it makes us dependent upon them. It makes them where we have to. It's like we gotta go to them for the answers, go to them for the salvation. It's like they hold the keys, they hold the answers to our salvation, and to eternity and all stuff. Whenever they don't have none of the keys, we have them. We have. That's what Jesus came to teach us, is that we all have the same access to God as He does. Okay, he was a regular man, like you and I, with a divine mission, appointed by God, and he knew this. Okay, and I definitely believe, that he did what he did. And anyways, how can somebody be forgiven of their sins, right? If the penalty's not been paid yet, okay? If Jesus has not gone on the cross, okay? He did not go on the cross and pay for our sins, like supposedly needed to happen, okay? If so, then how could Jesus tell somebody, and how could he heal somebody and then tell them, go and sin no more? You're forgiven of your sins. You know, and with no debt's been paid yet. Oh, because he's God, he can do that. Well, if he's God and he has to follow his laws and rules, supposedly, then that means that the debt would have had to have been paid first before someone could be forgiven of them sins, or they had to do it by killing an animal, and then and using their blood. That's why they did the sacrifices. That's how people covered up their sins. Then they had to spill blood of the lamb, and whatever, sacrifice it to God, and that covered your sins you did for the last 2 weeks, but however it worked, I don't know. But so he never did none of that to save nobody. You don't need to do none of that. There's just no sins that you gotta be forgiven for. You love God, you love yourself, and you love your neighbor. If you do that, there is no sin apart from that. Like, okay, this whole sin thing, and you're a horrible, ugly, nasty person with no, can you turn that way? Yes, yeah, life can do that to you. Okay, but at the same time, you could be also an amazing, beautiful, loving soul. That doesn't have hate in its heart. You know, so say that we're damaged goods. No, 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 no. God don't make damage. You don't make damaged goods. This place was never meant to be perfect existence. Then we would never need to leave heaven. Okay, life is for a reason. Life is made for us to live and die. We weren't supposed to live forever here. This is not how it was meant to be. We came here to learn. So you have to be able to die to be able you have to be able to suffer and experience and grow. Okay, and to be able to grow and gain experiences through suffering and pain. Okay, because think about it, whenever things are great, good, golden, hunky-dory, everything's wonderful, just you don't really learn too much. Okay, it's like um because they had they had lives like that, where there was no evil, there was no evil per se, there was no heinous there wasn't suffering like there is now. But okay, whenever like someone, okay, like whenever, if it's recess all the time, or you're on vacation all the time, then like what motivates you to go and when it's time to work though, but your work is the vacation or then you're not gonna need your effort, it's like the effort put in, the love and the service and the love, for you to be able to exhibit the service and love within your heart. Okay, whenever you realize that you are God and God is in everyone, then why you, and it's like, well, it's like it takes the amount of growth just was not there. It was very slow. The amount of time it took to learn a lesson or situation took so much longer than it does now. Because of the pain, the suffering, it motivates people to, hey, this is for real. This is serious. This may be, just one real life, but it's real life. You know what I'm saying? Like you need to get it right. You need to understand and learn lessons so that way you can go on and move and learn new lessons, new obstacles. Okay. It's really awesome. It's really wonderful how it all worked out. But yeah. So you know so it's like, so this whole Garden of Eden, and that with the fall of mankind was Lucifer in the garden and all this stuff is, man, like, okay, that's not like, again, there's reptilians, the draconian reptilians and stuff, right? Yeah, the draconians, I think, are the bad ones, right? They're the bad. Some reptilians aren't bad, but then some are, very very bad. Okay, and so that's all it is. They're taking truth and it's wrapped in a lie. So the truth is, yes, there are these reptilian beings. Okay, um, um, which is why he's a snake in the garden. What's the snake, a reptilian? Okay, and it's just and the lie is that Lucifer tempted us. Blah blah. No, what it is was the reptilians got control over us. They enslaved us. Okay, we are a slave to their system. We are a slave to their control. They are all about control, power, and greed. These beings cannot ascend and go into a fifth dimensional reality. They cannot do it. Okay, they can only stay 3 and 4D. Okay, they cannot go fifth density. They cannot go to that realm of being. Okay, because they cannot let go of the greed, the control, and the power that they crave and thirst after, and for their, so but they're beings. They have a right to be in this universe like other life does, but for them to, they're trying to, and they want to enslave and run the universe, right? They want to enslave all of the universe, every being, and if they can't enslave you and get you to do their bidding, then they will destroy you. Okay, it basically is what it comes down to, right? And what they want to do is they've enslaved us. We've been enslaved to them, for a long time. Okay, they want they got us, right, and and they want to turn us into this, this militant. We're gonna, like, want us to be like these, like, robotic. They want to merge us with machine. They want to turn us into man machine, um uh um like robotic, evil, like militant. It's almost like, it's like a militia. Like militia. People that are like people that have training and like in the army and military. People that were like ex-marines. They go and join and work on in militias. Hired gunmen. And do work for like these corporations, or for this that they need this done, and it's can't it's gonna be done off the books, off the record. It's very very illegal, killing and stuff, that need to go into this country, and we need to secure this land, and these people are not wanting to give it up. You need to go in there and take these people out, things like that. Okay, so basically, how that looks like, they want us to basically be their gunmen, their enforcers. Hey, you're gonna get on with this. You're gonna do what we say you're gonna do what we're telling you that you're gonna do, or you're going to die. Like you're taking this land, and if you want to stay on this land, then you got to get with the program. Okay, you better pay up. Whoop to whoop woo, or bye bye. Like, you're just gonna have to go. You just can't. And that's a very horrible, evil, malicious thing. And that's what these draconians, that's where they're going. That's where they're taking us. That's where they want us to go. And obviously, you can see this happening. They're trying to merge with the machine. Look how much dependent we got there. They got us on a cell phone. Like, we got these dang phones in our hands, like 24/7 almost, like you always see someone's head on their phone, and then it makes you so much smarter because you don't have to worry about ever forgetting about anything. If you don't know the answer to something, you Google it. Anything's worth it. If you don't know, it's worth a Google. Like so it's already they're already hardwired into our thinking, into our core. Of how essential technology and machine is and now they got the AI, artificial intelligence that's just so much smarter and gonna be able to program itself, and whenever the machine can then update itself and can then write its own code, okay, and it's completely in control of its existence. That's what's happened. That's when it can get scary, because then if it sees this as obsolete, as no longer necessary, then it can wipe us out. It can wipe out. It really be horrible. Okay, and so supposedly there's already this AI, and it's already been made or whatever, and it's part of who I think maybe even be is they're in it's in line in line with the Draconians, right? Um, and I think they might even be really the Draconians might even be a slave to the machine. I think something like that. Dude, but so that's the sun. What's gonna happen is that's why when this life's gonna go to be for fifth density, when you okay is the sun is gonna right, it's gonna do its thing, right, and what's gonna happen is when it does its thing, it's gonna be the solar flash so intense, so it's gonna wipe this AI out. It's going to destroy it, okay, and then yeah, these bodies will perish, right, but we are eternal beings. We will go and we will then do our judgment, where we go to the scanning machine and we go over the life that we just lived, and hey, did you learn the lessons you were meant to learn? Did you do what you came here set to do? Did you satisfied with the work that you did, or did you not? Did you miss the mark? Okay, like that's where the whole sin thing. Did you miss the mark? Did you miss what you were aiming for? Like, okay, did you go off your beaten path? Did you make mistakes more than you actually did what you sought out to do? And if in whatever you feel, because you'll be like, man, like, oh, I totally blew it, like, totally got that life wrong, totally, 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 like the whole forgetting process. That's the whole veil. That's why we forget, because you have to forget to be able to, hey, okay, so I'm gonna go into life and not remember any of what I know. I've lived many, many lives, learned lots of lessons, but I'm gonna go into this life like a brand new slate, brand freaking new, and see and learn as much as I can learn. Okay, but this is the goal. This is the map. This is my blueprint. This is what I set out for my life. This is who I want to be. This is what I want to do. Okay, like if you look at your numerology report, look at your numerology, look at your astrology, how it nails you to a T. Like, whoa, that's me. That describes me. Whatever. You look at your numerology report, it's even more so. Like, a lot of people know their astrology, but look at your numerology. Check that out. Okay. Oh, and then in the Bible it says, "Oh, don't do that. It's sin. It's bad." Like, oh, get that out. Like, please, like, we got to get past that. It's not sin. It's not bad. Like, it's a tool that God obviously made. God is the author of the heavens. Okay, and He put it there. It's a roadmap. It is a map for us to be able to use, so that because it talks to us, it tells us things. It's not evil, witchcraft, sorcery. No, that's what they want you to think, because they don't want you to get to walk in your power. They don't want you to know yourself. They don't want you to know who you are. They don't want you to know that you're an eternal being, that you actually have divine power from God, that you actually can tap in and tune into your psychic abilities, and be able to telepathically speak to like, they don't want you to know all this, like, because then they can't control us. Then they cannot have power over us no more. That's why they've been lying to us. That's why they've been dumbing us down. And it just, and what's gonna happen is, like, they've been in control and they've won for a long time, okay? And it's finally coming to an end. We are going to finally get out from their control, and we are going to be our own, the author and the writers of our own existence, our own society. We're going to be able to realize that we want to live, for harmony, peace. I think like little hippie tree loving people. What I think about. Like a community that there's not this cabal draconian slave system they got us going on right now, money system, whatever however you want to call it. But everyone does work because of it's what they want to do. It's for the betterment of all. It's like, hey, okay, so we live in this community, and we got to be able to have this and this, so that way everyone in this little community is gonna be okay. So, all right, hey, I'll take care of it. Like I got this. Like I care about all you guys. Y'all are my family, basically, and we all need to survive. If doesn't get done, then we're gonna perish. So everyone steps up and does their part. Like that's how it's like meant to be. That's how society was always supposed to be. Not this barter, and not the slave system where you gotta work and pay your taxes, or you don't, or you're not able to pay rent and be able to own a home. Like how, like the system that's in play. I hope you can see is how we're enslaved to the system, and it's a system that they put in place. It's not from us. It's not, like we would not do that to ourselves. Okay. We have been controlled by these evil beings that is getting to where we are getting more powerful, and we are waking up to who we really are. We are waking up to our divine origin. We are waking up to the fact that we are very spiritual, divine, powerful beings of love and light. That the darkness has no control over us. Okay, none whatsoever. And once you know this and realize this, okay, and then we come together, like they got to go, like they cannot make us do anything. They cannot tell us, make us nothing. I mean, at all. Like it's time for them to go. Okay, like we're not gonna do your bidding. We're not gonna do your dirty work. Okay, we're beings of love and light, not darkness and wrath and hate. Okay, um, and so the fact that they can't ascend. Okay, so they just want to dominate and control, and so they're stuck three dimensional, right? They're stuck in that life. So like what's gonna happen here is boom, it's gonna happen, right? And so they're gonna be they're gonna take off and head out of this part of the solar system and head to another part where they're gonna be just fine, right? Okay, because they know that they cannot um um uh stay, because if they do, then they'll go to their fourth density thing, and then come be born back into another life again somewhere else. So they probably don't want to do that. They probably want to stick around for a little bit longer. So they're probably going to get out of here when that happens, right? Um, but but we can, and we are going to be able to go in fifth density because we are love and light. We do fall into that bias, okay? And if you are a person that you know in your heart you are love and light, like there's people that are very dark and evil people, that they're not beings of love and light, okay? They belong to the dark side, to the evil side of things, right? And so then they'll live the existence that they've chosen to live, right? And then if you choose to be in service to others, if you choose, to love and to care and to for the betterment of others, not just yourself, then be prepared for your next existence. Okay, there's so much more than this life. There's so much more than what we're told. There's so much more. And think about how I think it's going to be is kind of what I understand is like we're going to be like the saviors of the universe. Okay, we are going to end up being these beings that are going to liberate other entities, other beings. We're going to be their liberators. We're going to be their we are going to come and bear our love and our light. We're going to show them love and light. We are going to show them love and light, and not the darkness that has been oppressing and been in control for so long. They've been in control for a while, for a minute now. Okay, and why is that? Well, I think I've learned why, and it's because, okay, so whenever we were in the mind of God still, okay, God thought us up, created us, right, envisioned us, okay, and then He got life, then He's like, okay, so okay, this is who I'm gonna make, okay, make all these people, all these beings, all these different kinds of beings, and then okay, so now we're made, inside the mind of God, okay, we're hanging out, talking, and then back in there, like we're real. So okay, so we're getting ready to go live life. Okay, and this is what's gonna happen. We're gonna learn lessons. We're gonna learn how to be better at this, better at that, and be more like God. Become more like our Father. Okay, And now God's like, but hold up, it's not ready yet. I'm preparing it for you still. Okay, not everything's done that I would like to get done. But when it's ready, I'll let you know and you can go. Or if you want to go ahead and go now, that's fine. But I will not have any help for you. There, you will not get any support from me. Okay, you will have to manage it on your own. Okay, but it's not going to be as easy. It's going to be hard. But if that's your choice, then that's your choice. Okay, so that's where the dark beings come in. That's where the evil comes in. Okay, because then they get bitter. It's like, because then they get angry at God. Like, you abandoned me, but no, you didn't listen to God. Okay, he told you, it's not ready yet. If you want my help and my support, you gotta wait until I have everything ready. And they didn't want to. They were like, no, I got this. I'm good. I know I can handle it. And so they came in and they got to life first. Okay, and so those are the ones that are that's where I think, like the reptilians, they're the dinosaurs. They